When you are in Havana, you should definitely go see the main tourist spots like the Capitol, the Old City or Revolution Square. If, however, you choose to dive under the touristy surface, if you want to understand Cuban identity and have a more real and unique experience of Havana, then I invite you to follow me on this trip as I discover the 10 most original things to do in Havana. Not seriously visit Havana without having seen its seafront promenade, El Malecon. But don't just go there anytime. Go there after a tropical thunderstorm. Now, on sunnier days when the sea is less eager to take your life, this 8 kilometers long roadway is a well-known hangout for locals fishing at the seawall and street musicians making an extra buck. And in the night, it becomes a popular meetup for Cubans and tourists alike. This narrow alleyway stretches over only 2 blocks, but it's full of colorful murals, mosaics, vibrant street art and freakish surrealist sculptures that are made of bathtubs, hand pumps, broken bicycles and whatnot. Crazy artworks here and the live rumba concerts on Sunday afternoons will give you an authentic feeling of what Havana's local art and Afro-Cuban spiritualism are about. If you want to shop for clothes, shoes and perfumes, Havana might not be the right place for you. Instead, you can shop at green markets at literally every corner of the city. They sell meat, fish, fresh vegetables and fruits that you have never seen before. Opening times and prices here are, let's say, flexible. Take a look at the center of Havana, but from upstairs. Yes, the view from this hotel is spectacular, and no, they are not paying me for saying this. In this 5-star hotel you will not just get the best view at the Capitolio, but you can also buy internet cards and access Wi-Fi all over the hotel. By the way, trying to use internet in Cuba is a nightmare. Lucky for you that I made a video about how to use 3G and Wi-Fi no matter where you are in Cuba. To get to El Morro, Havana's ancient fortress guarding the entrance to its port, take a ferry from the port that runs every 20 minutes. Most people go there to see the fortress itself and the statue of El Cristo de la Havana, and to get panoramic shots of Havana. Yet most of them overlook an exhibition about the Cuban Missile Crisis, where you can see Soviet nuclear rockets and remnants of destroyed US-American combat planes. This confrontation between the Soviet Union and the USA is when the world came closest to a full-scale atomic war in 1962. story here is simple. I love animals, and you now have to look at them.
No, mira.
A Chinatown in Havana with no Chinese in it? What in the fuck? Well, that peculiar story starts in the late 1800s, when, just like in the USA, slavery was outlawed in Cuba. So more and more Chinese contract workers immigrated to replace the black slaves on the sugar fields. And after their work was done, many of them stayed, so that Havana's Chinatown became one of the first and largest Chinatowns in Latin America.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
However, after the Cuban Revolution, many Chinese grocery store and restaurant owners were expropriated by the new government. So most of them moved to other areas or left the country. In the center of Havana, there are many bars and restaurants where you can eat and drink well, but your chances of also getting a good service without being ripped off are higher if you leave the tourist epicenter of Havana. Remember to take a step back and relax. Maximo Bar, for example, is tastefully decorated, has excellent food, and the waiters pay attention to you the whole time. That combination is not easy to find elsewhere. Estadio Latinoamericano is the country's largest baseball stadium, able to hold 55,000 people. Not only do Cubans love a good game of ball, or as they say, pelota, they are actually quite good at it too. Cuba's national team has been the most successful in the Summer Olympics, winning the gold medal 3 times and winning gold 25 times in the Baseball World Cup. Now, hearing baseball in Cuba in one sentence, you might go, wait a minute, baseball is US-American, and Cuba and the US are not exactly friends, so what the fuck, right? Wrong. Baseball has actually been the national sport in Cuba since the 1870s, long before the US Americans took power of the island. After the Cuban Revolution, Fidel Castro's socialist government even reinforced baseball as the national sport, replacing the professional league system by new amateur baseball leagues. If there is one thing that I hate about modern art, is that it often is random and unprofessional on top of that. Luckily, the exact opposite of all of that is true for our winner. El Ojo del Cyclone, which translates into the Eye of the Cyclone, is the most special place that I've found in whole Havana. Not only are the various paintings, drawings, collages, sculptures and installations really skillfully done, but also the artist Leo de Lázaro has assembled them into a meaningful concept. The crazy thing in this art gallery is that you can not just look at the art exhibits, but also interact with many of them. I was lucky enough to meet Leo de Lázaro's son and to play with him at the freakiest design of a table football that you've ever seen. So, as I'm chatting with him, it turns out that his grandfather, the father of this gallery's owner, is the sculptor who made the monumental statue of Che Guevara, standing at the Che Guevara Mausoleum in Santa Clara. I visited that one in this video, where I take you to the places of the Cuban Revolution.